Welcome back. We have the amazing Deborah Tavares here. And, of course, Deborah gets so many hits whenever we convert our shows to social media and YouTube. And it's because the information she carries is so vital. And I like to change. I've changed it from New World Order to New Order of the World, which is happening now. That's a good term for it. And we have a 5G network we just talked about in the last segment with Scott Tips in Geneva. With Sayer G, I'll have those links posted up from the first hour. And we also have some links for some ebooks that are free over at NHF if you want to support them financially and prayerfully. Deborah, you've got lots of very scary stories and facts and documents. Go ahead.
Well, I certainly do. So for everyone that's listening, I'm going to do some recaps of what the documents have been telling us all along, and certainly we do not have a government. So when you recognize and are able to absorb that most crucial fact, then you're able to then start seeing other realities, and that becomes more clear. Right. So I'm going to go over that right now and talk to you about how we're being continuously bombarded with reality on the campaign trail, which is, of course, just an additional mechanism of brainwashing all of us everywhere. So I'm referring to a specific article in the Nation World dated August the 23rd of 2019. And the article's title is Sanders Unveils $16 Trillion Plan for Climate. Wow. And it says a pricey proposal, a program to fight warming, offers billions in subsidies and 20 million American jobs. The summary of this is that they're proposing retrofitting in every building nationwide. Now, right. We have been alerting all of you that have been listening about the climate action plans that tell us this. And it's important to understand that the campaign trail and all the speeches that you're hearing is part of the brainwashing of the policies that are going into place. This is not being introduced by Bernie Sanders. No. These policies are already adopted. They are well on their way to implementation everywhere. Right. Another example of what I'm talking about is in San Mateo here, right outside of the San Francisco area. Right. Just a few days ago, in San Mateo at the city council meeting, they declared that they were no longer going to allow gas, that everything needed to be electric. This is all part of the planned retrofitting and moving us out of fossil fuels and gas. Now, this leads to an enormous concern. All of us need to recognize that we are being pummeled back to a time of the year 1750, where we will not have the kinds of modern-day abilities to go forward with the enormous progress that we've all made. We are being literally wiped out by all of what we've gained being taken away.
They take away three things. They take away information. They take away energy. They take away autonomy with their 5G network. And this is a game to actually cage us in a cyber cage, destroy human biology, and even destroy the oxygen in our atmosphere.
Now, as people hear us say this, Dr. Bill, in order to grip this for themselves, there's some basic pieces of homework that I highly, highly recommend. Of course, first and foremost, I recommend everyone go to our website, stopthecrime.net, and go to our menu and then to our YouTube video channel and watch our postings. Because what we've done in a recent Genocide is Legal, a 5-part series, is walk you through how this has all happened to us. And it's important that we all pay attention, because those that do will survive slightly longer than those that don't. And I'm going to get into a little detail, because those are pretty outrageous words, Dr. Bill, for the average person to hear, but they must hear it in the context of how I'm going to break it down. Right. Again, we're being pummeled every day in the media by the lies of the global takeover of all energy. Right. All energy. And energy is moving storms. Energy is electrical. Energy is controlling everything in life, our bodies, our cells, everything. And someone else is controlling this energy. not what we would like. It's a nefarious control of energy. So what I would recommend for everyone that's listening, go to your computer and type in the name of your city. For example, I would type in Santa Rosa, California, City Council meeting. I would find the current agenda, and I would read some of the agenda. What I want everyone to recognize is that the agendas are already predetermined. Think of it like being on a ship, and there's an autopilot where the course has already been charted, mapped out, and the helm is directing the ship directly in the coordinates that have been previously mapped out. That is what all of your cities and counties, your state, your federal, global governments have already done. And what I hear constantly, and keep your ears peeled to it as well, is I will hear constantly on the news, in our area, for example, there will be a city council meeting or a county meeting where there will be new septic regulations that are going to impose rigid rules on people that live within 600 feet of waterways. And this may involve the inability to connect to a wastewater treatment system and literally deem their property no longer livable. Now, they say this, and people just don't believe it. Well, I've sat in on these meetings, and they're predetermined. They tell you the public is invited to weigh in and to participate. And even the city council members or the county board of supervisors representatives are in on the game of deception. So what did I see that allows me to say this to you that I've seen hundreds and hundreds of times, but
right.
More recently, I saw a city, a county board of supervisor come to a meeting where the decision to literally force people to spend potentially up to $60,000, which they don't have, because this area of the Russian River that runs along Bohemian Grove is an area of affordability, where more people that cannot afford other areas in Sonoma County because of the high cost of living have now congregated. Now, lower cost of living areas, lower cost of living homes are now being exploited, and people are being forced off because they know they don't have the money to hire the law firms that might stave off some of the retribution from the predetermined policies that are in effect. So the county board of supervisor that was present at the meeting, in order to assure their election, their success in being elected next term, they spoke at the meeting as if there could be some consideration. They called it an off-ramp to the policies that we're hearing. Now, I want to tell everybody what's happening with specifically the septic rules and regulations. This is obviously the Wildlands Project, but I'm not going to go in that conversation today. I'm just going to say it's part of the Wildlands Project, vacating all rural and country properties. But what is happening is literally the combination of any properties that have any water runoff. In other words, if you don't contain off-flow property water movement, it will ultimately end up into the small creeks, little tributaries, streams, rivers, and into the ocean. That is being deemed now contamination. And so we are rapidly being extricated, taken off of our rural country properties by a variety of cascading means. And it is simple to see.
Well, it's operational in the Amazon rainforest right now. This is not just a natural event, is it?
Well, none of the fires really are, because, we do know, even if the fire was an actual natural event, we know that there are the technologies to create the rain that could certainly put these fires out. But rather, they've so heavily chemtrailed us and deforested us and allowed dead and dying trees and all of the chemicals from the overhead aerial spraying, in particular prior to large fire scale events that just create explosive conditions and combustible conditions. We are being destroyed. So for everyone that is listening, I'm going to tell you some more. Dr. Bill, what we're now discovering is that there is a specific solar company that's working with the Department of Energy. They're actually also being funded by the Department of Energy.
Right.
And why this is so critical is that they're privatizing and consolidating solar energy access through a corporation called Sun Power. And I am creating a solar alert. You will find this if you sign up for stopthecrime.net. This will become an email blast out, and you will also be able to pick it up in my email blast out section on stopthecrime.net. I'm going to explain. What is happening is this, Sun Power is a corporation. And, of course, we know that tariffs have hit the solar sector and the cost of solar imports tremendously.
Yeah,
and
it
Sun
shot
Power,
up like a rocket. A lot of these are made in China. So
yeah.
American-made ones haven't been affected, like ours are made in America. But Chinese ones shot up like a rocket, didn't they?
Yeah, the predominant of solar manufacturing, however, though, is made overseas, sadly. But Sun Power Corporation tariffs, again, hit the solar sector and have cost the solar imports tremendously. And Sun Power received an exemption from the government on some of the high-efficiency solar imports and is emerging while other solar companies have been closed down. Now, I've pulled up a timeline of Sun Power. I've also looked at some of their funders and some of their board of directors. Many of these people come from extremely nefarious, dangerous corporate structures. And General Electric is mentioned widely. Of course, we know that Silicon Valley is also mentioned. Some of the schools where these board of directors graduated from are delivering the technology that is eliminating mankind on this earth. And I can only say when you start doing a little investigation into the background of some of these corporations, the mask is taken off. And it's not just you're hearing that solar is being consolidated and access to it is going to be denied. But even further than that, solar technology, because of the now guaranteed power outages nationwide and worldwide, people are going to now be converting and or augmenting solar systems with generators. Now, generators are gasoline powered. They're not electric yet. And so without gasoline, which is now being eliminated, gasoline and gas, a fossil fuel, is being eliminated. Not only in Northern California, in all of the rebuilds, is all new construction required to be built with electric hookups only. You can no longer have gas ranges. If you do, you pay a greenhouse gas emission negative consequence for not converting to electricity. Now, just a couple of days ago, again, San Mateo, just in the San Francisco area, city nearby, has now also said that they will no longer allow gas appliances, gas hookups, gas anything. And here's how it's reported.
Well,
in the
House
news.
Hunter International pushes gas everywhere if you watch House Hunter. So
now,
they're trying to kill
the people need to carefully hear how this is being said to us.
In other words, it doesn't matter which party you talk about. Even if you watch Bernie Sanders call, well, he won't get elected.
At the other side of the break.
Yeah, Trump's still doing it, though, isn't he?
Absolutely. But on the other side of the break, I'll wrap that story up.
Absolutely, yeah.
NutriMedical's Life Support has arrived. All of your daily nutritional requirements in one quick, delicious drink. Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support is a proprietary blend of vegan protein, activated vitamins, essential minerals, amino acids, probiotics, green tea, digestive enzymes, anti-inflammatories, cancer prevention, detoxification, and much more. Your body will high-five you for this one. Life Support is the best complete nutritious meal replacement on the market. Whether you are an elite athlete, have post-operative challenges, chronic illness, elderly, or a family that just wants a quick, delicious drink, try Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support for optimized nutrition in one great tasting smoothie. Just add cold water, almond milk, fruit, or anything else you like. NutriMedical's Life Support. Try our great tasting chocolate or vanilla today. Call 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com. NutriMedical.com for the whole family.
Red Deer Velvet DR is an amazing new product with a patent to preserve 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones, same as fetal life, where you don't age at all. The state of fetal life allows the 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones produced by the placenta to be supportive of the regeneration of tissues and organs, with maximum apoptosis, changing the tissue and organ structure of a fetus. That's why if fetal surgery is performed, there is no scar. Taking 2 to 3 capsules twice a day with oncomycin, myco-D2, provides an amazing support for regeneration of any tissue and organ in the body, and even advanced stem cell therapy support treatment. Do get NutriMedical's Red Deer Velvet DR from Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. Stay well and stay young with NutriMedical. Lumen photon therapy, infrared light, far and near infrared, is extremely important for pain control, stimulation of nitric oxide, improved perfusion, and stem cell activation and reduction of cytokines. Dr. Bill uses it for pain control, for regeneration techniques, for organ regeneration, and for stimulation of your stem cell activity. This amazing lumen photon therapy this year will probably have an additional device with frequency therapy during the on phase of the lights. To obtain a lumen photon machine, contact Dr. Bill at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. He'll prescribe it with you providing nutraceuticals to help with your regeneration, healing, and pain control. Nothing like the lumen photon therapy for easy therapy for your eyes, your pain, your joints, regeneration of organs, detoxification of the body. Get a lumen photon machine from Dr. Bill Deagle, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. Stay well with NutriMedical. The Sonic Life Machine is one of the most amazing therapies that Dr. Bill provides. It is the best sine wave exercise machine on the planet, doing whole body vibration, opening up the muscle to reduce insulin resistance, improve perfusion, release stem cell therapies throughout the body, and epigenetically stimulate the body to release DNA activated. The epigenetic therapy with the sine wave curve of frequencies given for atomic resonance by Linus Pauling for minerals and amino acids stimulates the production of messenger RNA to correct structural protein enzyme deficiency for almost every illness. There's nothing like the sine wave therapy for improving body healing for exercise, but also the epigenetic treatments Dr. Bill can provide can help neutralize frequencies for disease states and illness. Get a Sonic Life machine through Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com. Contact us at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871, or go to the website NutriMedical and give us a contact. Dr. Bill is available to help you get well with NutriMedical.
Need a powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens? Allicin Med is the powerful universal pathogen killer's latest advance of German-sourced allicin, enzymatically stabilized to clear the body of bacteria, fungi, mycobacteria, and parasites. It penetrates body biofilms and is non-toxic to tissues. Pathogen resistance cannot develop for long-term body-optimized wellness. Clear stealth pathogens that promote autoimmune disease, cancer and vascular inflammation and plaque and promote healing of tissues. Now pathogen-free. With 200 milligrams more power than prior Alamed, you can't get a more powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens. Give your body what it needs. Allicin Med. Order Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutridyne at 888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. That's 1-888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. And listen to the NutriMedical Report on the Genesis Radio Network with open lines every weekday. NutriMedical.com, bringing nutrition and medicine together.
Here, Deborah.
Yes, I was talking about the elimination of gas now in the cities. We're talking about gas hookups in homes for appliances, HVACs,
does that include things like liquid natural gas, or does it also include propane? Because I can't see that they can actually wipe out these companies. I think there'd be a lot of pushback by the oil industry and propane and the natural gas companies.
Okay, so they can push back all they want, but they're being bought off, and only for a short time, while they transition us into an unreliable, renewable energy source under the guise that we have to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. Now, what people need to understand is what is happening now with the intentional shutdowns and power outages across the country and across the world, with our utilities pushing the off buttons, and not that they have to, and causing power outages. People will scramble. They will work as hard as they can, second jobs, what have you, to get solar. They will then do what the solar companies are saying. They will get lithium-ion battery storage backup batteries, which I call solar battery bombs. Lithium-ion batteries are bombs, and I posted an article.
They're particularly dangerous, by the way, in an aircraft, whether it's a computer, a laptop, or an iPhone. Go ahead.
That's absolutely correct. So what we have is people scrambling. I was just meeting with some people recently. They were saying that they want a seamless transition when the power's turned off to continue to have their power restored in their businesses. And so they are going to get a very expensive battery that's hooked up that will turn on automatically when the power's shut off. You can spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, but you have to have the fuel to fuel these generators. And you're going to have to consider potential storage in the future, which can become highly explosive to have that kind of fuel storage on your property.
Let me give you the alternatives. My niece developed a storage system that's for major power corporations of hundreds of gigawatts as compressed air, and that's been sold in the last 10 years all over the world. You can also have what's called, let me finish. You can also have direct conversion of solar to hydrogen, and that company has not made it available to individuals. It's mainly for they're trying to get it for big networks. But solar to hydrogen would be good because you could use it for fuel in car and also for cooking. Please continue.
Yeah, we've actually really even looked into that with some experts that are certainly pushing solar, but with a different type of battery backup. And that other system is not practical at this point, so it won't be necessarily feasible for the average person. And what we're
it's
talking
not feasible
about,
at all because they're not building it there. They're building
Dr.
it for
Bill,
big distribution networks. They're not building it for individuals right now. So I contacted them 2 years ago.
That's exactly right. And I want to stay on point because I have some very important information. Okay, I want people to look around your community. I want you to become familiar with some of the building and planning codes that are now emerging in your community. I want you to be, in particular, I want you to search in your community whether your community has agreed to PACE or HERO loans, PACE or HERO, HERO loans. The communities have, your city councils and boards of supervisors have approved these retrofitting loans that you will be forced to take when the code enforcement comes up to your door, having looked at the microfiche that they have on record in the building and planning departments and saying your home was built in the early 90s. You need these things retrofitted, or you will be considered inefficient, and we will write you up, and you will be fined, and you will be penalized, and you must retrofit, and we will come back to see the bills that you have paid to make certain that you have retrofitted. You must prove it, or your property ends up on a deficiency list of properties, and then you will not be able to sell it before you retrofit all of the requirements. Now, there will be degrees of required retrofitting. There will be the first round, and then the deeper round.
By the way, I got to mention this important comment here. You know how far left the Democrats are, and it's unlikely that Bernie's program will be there. But while, in a sense, what we have is a liocracy, and although people say, well, woof, Bernie's not going to be elected, he won't do his plan, Trump's doing it behind the scenes with all the corporations. 5G network, genetically modified food, and recycled toxic water.
It's happening anyway.
It's happening anyway. And the problem is that without proselyting action, just complaining to your politicians is useless. And just
so I want to stop right now because I really do have some very important boots on the ground, time that I spend hours and hours. And I will tell you, truth trauma does not begin to define what I see. And I'm trying to help other people see what I am picking up in the community as I go out and about.
Right.
And this is crucial.
Right.
Because what I see is going to happen to everyone else. And my heart breaks for what I see. I not only see the right, left, it does not matter. I see the inability for people to understand that we don't have a voting structure. All this is a charade to roll out the ideas of climate change. In fact, they recently announced that the 35-year-olds and under will be voting for all climate change measures. Why? Because they have been already indoctrinated in school. So all of you that sent your kids to school, you have loans for college. Sadly, it's your fault. You've indoctrinated these kids.
Yeah, they've been sent off to the schools like Nazi training schools. I mean, your kids are going to now vote into a system that's going to crush all of us with this new plan. It doesn't matter which party you have, by the way. From what I can see happening, it's happening under Trump and under Bernie. It doesn't matter. What we need to do is we need pro se litigant action, which I mentioned.
Now, I need
separately.
to stop you again because I need to talk about some other things.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about this in other shows. But when I finish the statement, but let me finish my statement when I do say something, Deborah. I want people to understand this is desperation, but they have to understand. We'll discuss in separate shows with Dr. Fred Graves. You need to take action.
But right now, I really need to talk about the evacuation and preparedness plans that are sweeping California and what they're telling us in the newspapers on a daily basis.
You're talking about Northern California, especially right now, with the danger of fires.
Well, California and the entire country is in danger of fires because fires is like one of the top 3 announcements in the climate action plans nationwide, in fact, globally. Lack of water, heat, severe heat, which now they do create, and fires. And so we're constantly being bombarded with trauma, constantly. An example, evacuation and preparedness for people and animals. And they go on to say, know your resources. Now, I want to caution everybody. There's lots of apps being set up in communities like COPE and other community networks that they want you to sign on to so that you can group together within your neighborhood. It makes sense. It sounds good, but it's all CIA operated, and so is Nextdoor. And you need to understand they're evaluating what supplies, what capabilities specific communities have. This is a process now. This is a war games. This is a battle.
You went over that really quick. I want you to repeat that because it's something that you talk a little fast sometimes when you get excited. Nextdoor is the actual name of a project by the CIA. Please continue.
Absolutely. And Nextdoor is a network that people share within a given parameter of their community where they discuss things. And this is all being watched so that they'll know who has what, should there be, or not should, when there is a weaponized assault in some fashion.
Right.
So people need to be very careful. We've gotten, sadly, too accustomed to signing up to wireless apps, but we need to understand this is all part of a network of entrapment. So they talk about, right opposite a paper I'm looking at about evacuation and preparedness and having your animals ready to go and have your destination lined up and how to volunteer, the do's and don'ts, and organized community partners. You need to look at the organized community partners. They're all part of the globalist agenda. And what we're talking about here is warfare being conducted on all of us. In fact, just a few days ago here in an abandoned, vacated Sears building in Santa Rosa, they spent the entire day with the entire area cordoned off practicing urban warfare training. And they're doing this all over the country. This has been being reported. This is no new news, but you will notice this too, which is why I'm bringing this back. Another thing I want to bring out, which is extremely important, I'm seeing this happen now in the 9 Bay Area counties here in the San Francisco Bay Area, where each city is now agreeing to utilize electricity from evergreen. Now, evergreen is electricity that is being generated from the geothermal plants. Geothermal plants are going to be expanded, and they cause earthquakes. This is another way in which earthquakes will be expanded in our communities. So as the cities continue to say that they're buying electricity, in this case from the geothermal operation in the Mayacamas Mountains right above Santa Rosa, and that it is 84% green. And then I asked the question, well, how do you figure? You're pumping up the wastewater treatment, the fecal, urine, and pharmaceuticals for 40 miles with booster pumps from the wastewater treatment toxic hole that they've got all the way up to the mountains, where they're literally injecting it, another word is fracking it, injecting it into these deep boreholes. And on the mountain, the USGS has all of these devices that register seismic activity, because if they inject too rapidly, they cause larger earthquakes. So think about it. In our area, the cities are now transitioning over to geothermal. That means the acceptance and the reality of much more creation of electricity from earthquake-causing geothermal plants, which also cause acid rain. And the hydrogen sulfide is highly, highly toxic. It gets
your body
into our
concentrates
body.
it too, by the way, in your kidneys, and you can even dissolve steel or porcelain with your urine, believe it or not.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And also, I want to talk about the new airplanes that the firefighting airplanes that CAL FIRE is now getting from the military. They're the traditional C-130 airplanes that they're outfitting now for fire retardant dumps. Now, everyone needs to understand that people believe and think, oh, the public's happy when they see what looks like the war is being won, when the planes are bombing from the sky. But let's talk about fire retardant. It's a fertilizer mixed with water and other chemicals, and it slows the rate of fires spread by coating the fuels and depriving the fires of oxygen. But the federal use of the stuff has exploded in recent years from about 8.5 million gallons in 2012 to 19 million gallons in 2016.
Wow.
And they talk about how they dumped in 2002, and they're not supposed to dump the fire retardant within 300 feet of any waterways. And in 2002, with all the smoke, they could not see the waterway, and this was in central Oregon. They did a fire retardant dump, and you can look this up, just outside of Bend, Oregon, in the Fall River, F-A-L-L River. And the red liquid killed 22,000 fish in a 4-mile stretch of river in one day.
Wow.
So now we're going to be dumped overhead. Now remember, fire is a war game. These are all businesses for profit. Sadly, I have to say what I never thought I would, but I attended several fire meetings that were conducted by our fire captains and fire chiefs. Now, in the past, I would have revered the uniform and given kudos for firefighters, but now they are costumes. They are costumes because they have joined the firefighting machine of big business. They are only about evacuating and not talking about how you can really, they'll come in and defend your home. And when we get to the other side of the break, I'm going to talk more about this because it was just ground shifting.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor-endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in Central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.
Red Deer Velvet DR is an amazing new product with a patent to preserve 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones, same as fetal life, where you don't age at all. The state of fetal life allows the 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones produced by the placenta to be supportive of the regeneration of tissues and organs, with maximum apoptosis, changing the tissue and organ structure of a fetus. That's why if fetal surgery is performed, there is no scar. Taking 2 to 3 capsules twice a day with oncomycin, myco-D2, provides an amazing support for regeneration of any tissue and organ in the body, and even advanced stem cell therapy support treatment. Do get NutriMedical's Red Deer Velvet DR from Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. Stay well and stay young with NutriMedical. Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Deagle, MD, AAEM, ACAM, A4M, of NutriMedical.com, and a consultant providing email advice free on advanced protocols for your optimized wellness and advanced technologies to heal and regenerate you. You can contact us at NutriMedical.com, that's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. You get free email starter protocols of our top medical-grade nutraceuticals, initial testing, and recommendations for your own primary doctor to do, as well as recommendations to give you an idea of a consultation and a full protocol to try to help you regenerate your tissues, heal naturally without the use of toxic polypharmacy. I can send test kits to you as well anywhere in the world and provide you recommendations to referral of specialty clinics worldwide. So contact me, Dr. Bill Deagle, at NutriMedical.com. That's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. At NutriMedical.com, we have the most amazing drinks with the best mouthfeel, highest quality bionutrient exposure to your body to heal and regenerate, and the most powerful persistence of nutrients to heal your body dramatically. We have Ageless, which makes you age less, which repairs your DNA, extends your telomeres, etc. We have Life Support that detoxes phase 2 detox pathways, glucuronidation, sulfation, and methylation pathway support. We have Glycemics that blocks the carbohydrate absorption and helps with diabetes or weight loss, and as well helps with people that are trying to build up muscle, using things like our special formulas from Dr. Wolf called Mega Muscles between meals along with Sports Energy Light. We have the amazing Nutri-Complete, the most complete red and greens drink in the world, with the best mouthfeel and flavor. You can often mix it too with Vitamin Mineral Mix, which is our fruit-flavored mixed power of vitamin minerals. Stay well with NutriMedical every day. And to announce, in just for 30 seconds, we have now the epigenetic Sabbath frequency development epigenetic machine. If you go to this drop-down menu, you'll see it there. When you purchase the machine, I'll send you the Sabbath frequencies actually generate a field around your home to counteract the toxic effects of irradiation. And if you want to ask questions on it, drop me an email. That's available now. Please continue, Deborah. There's lots of stuff.
Dr.
You have
Bill,
a series of 5 videos and so on.
I cannot sidestep what you just said by not adding to what you just said, because certainly I have talked to hundreds and hundreds of targeted individuals and people that are being affected by frequencies that are being amplified in their cities.
Right.
And I would like to add to what you just said from my perspective, and then we're going to do a separate show on only this. and that is a form of a frequency shield defense for civilians against the wireless technology of the weaponized
and it's all kind of wireless.
military
It's even dirty electricity coming to your home. Just the electrical wires bringing in smart grid and the Gwen towers and Wi-Fi everywhere. And now we got 5G, and even Mick Mulvaney's doing a dance. They're going to put in 6G. Like, what the hell is 6G?
So what we're talking about, everyone that's listening, because this is really rather shocking news.
Right.
And simply put, it's an EMF frequency blocker. And what we're going to be doing is discussing this, because what we now know and what we are and how we're being eliminated, and certainly the numbers that they want to accomplish by 2025 of the mass reduction in the United States of about 84% of the population.
Actually, we talked about this with Scott Tips, that they did.
Well, we talked about this with me too. And
I just want to mention this one thing. Scott mentioned that when you put mice or animals closer to power lines, they turn diabetic and their blood sugar goes up. So we'll get into this in another show. Please, and you also, by the way, have a series of videos. I think 5 videos talking about 5G network. You're way ahead of the curve. In fact, you introduced me years ago to even Paul Power and Primary Water, many years ago.
So before I get off into a few more things that I wanted to discuss with everyone so that they can see what's happening in plain sight right in front of them in their cities, and how their cities' policies are on autopilot, and you have absolutely no ability to change anything.
Right.
And it's an illusion if you think you do, and people that promote that are part of the gatekeeping system.
Right.
I want to just say this about the frequency shield defense that we all are going to now need, because in order to survive, it's going to cost money, period. We're going to have to buy things that are going to defend against the kinds of silent weapon assault systems that are now aimed at us and are literally turning off our immune cells and killing us.
They turn off your genes based on mineral resonant toxicology. That's how they work.
And so we will go into detail on this. This is really breaking technology and breaking information. And it really deserves an entire radio show, and we will do that. This is just a snippet of what is to come and become more widely available to everyone that, of course, needs this kind of protection.
Right.
Now I want to get into what is important for everybody to understand. Do not be on the fence with voting. I can tell you that that is over. That system is part of a rigged game. It's like watching a badminton game. When they hit the badminton over the net and back and forth, and we're watching back and forth, when the real reality is happening behind us.
Right.
So I also want to alert everyone.
In other words, we're distracted by the game or the politicians or the lawyers. And while this is happening, they're preparing us for dinner to be going to literally a surgical abattoir of electricity and toxins, and put us back into the pre-industrial age, and then hang our carcass after they disemboweled us to be returned into Soylent Green. I mean, that's how bad it is. People say, "Oh, you're making that up, Eagle." No, I'm not, unfortunately.
Dr. Bill, people will hear this kind of conversation, and rightfully so. It's mind-boggling and dismissing.
Well, it mind-boggles me, and I've been at it for years. I mean, I think I can't get shocked when I get up in the morning. And when I do, I always get shocked. I think, oh, my gosh, it can't get worse. And it does.
It does.
Every day it gets worse.
Okay, this is an important conversation we're having right now, because both you and I have been talking about diabolical events and policies and future events and things currently that are unfolding that are absolutely beyond the pale of what people like to feel is a normal life.
They think it's socially inappropriate. In fact, I've had people tell me socially, don't talk about these kind of things, Deagle. Don't even talk about your patent for your anti-aging technology, because it's socially inappropriate. It makes people upset. They don't want to have you visit them if you talk about this stuff. I'm thinking, no, I guess they just want to die, right?
Well, I want to talk about some additional interviews that I've done. You can see one on stopthecrime.net, where I was in London months ago, and I was talking to Gemma Doherty out of Ireland, and now she's being featured in the Irish newspaper as literally being a danger and a heretic and being racially divisive, etc. It is horrible how they are dismantling
You're kidding.
this woman. Now,
Why are they trying to say that? What did she say that they're trying to twist to say this kind of?
Well, I'm just going to alert everybody to that, because anyone that is talking against the government-prescribed speak is going to be considered dangerous. So we're going.
Oh yeah,
to
they'll target you. They'll try to take away your job, take away your license, take away your means of income, put you in jail, or even just hit you as being a targeted individual, or kill you, or make your life miserable.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about the kill list that we pumped out on our email blast out. So for those of you, again, go to stopthecrime.net, go to the email blast out on the menu, and you can read what I will go over briefly right now.
Right.
It's entitled Kill List in the United States. It has a map, and you can find out if your town is on the kill list, and most likely it is. So what this is all about is this is a cumulative radiation, and this was put together using charts, the radiation charts throughout the United States. Now, while this only shows the United States, this would exist, of course, worldwide because of the many events and the intentional bleed-off of nuke facilities all the time. In fact, Dr. Bill, you and I did a show some months back about the Diablo in just south of San Francisco.
You're talking about Diablo Canyon, right?
Yeah, Diablo Canyon. They are intentionally allowing radiation to leak out of these sites, okay? This is important for people to understand.
Yeah, it has a good name for it too, doesn't it?
Yeah, let me read a little bit about this kill list in the United States. And this was put together by Nichols, who has been charting and following the radiation for a very long time. And he says, I won't try to kid you with the good news and lies and made-up fake facts. Bottom line, this radiation is way too much for humans to take. Look at the table of poisoned American cities. Million a week, January 1st of 2018 to August the 3rd of 2019. And he's accumulated over 13,900 hours, and he's published this on August the 17th. And it shows the gamma and beta by city and state. So when you scroll and you look at the map, you are stunned. And he goes on to say that targeted individuals by area, it is a number of targeted individuals by area for the ongoing radiation kill in America. And are you included in the kill numbers and just don't know it yet?
And by the way, these are purposely leaking nuclear facilities that they don't want to fix.
That's right. He even says...
I have that list here. Actually, I have the link directly up. I'll post it up today, too.
Yeah, and it says right here, all nuke power plants leak radiation. The nukes leak on purpose. The rad cannot be contained. They are built that way. Also, the nuke power plants cannot be sued. Very important. The rich owners think the trade-off for your health and life is worth the money. Well,
there's a zone map around the nuclear plant of dementia, premature dates, small for date babies, ADD, and cancer rates. Those maps have been around for years. Go ahead.
That's right. So I encourage everybody to, again, go out to the email blast out on stopthecrime.net. Please send our email blast outs out far and wide. We are seeing more and more literal disruption by YouTube on our YouTube videos. And I can only tell you, we know, and we certainly know why. So it's up to all of you to help us get this out. If you are a little bit on the fence about whether voting is good or not, you are part of the kill. Because I can only tell you to stay in an illusion that you can vote for someone who does not draw up the policies. And how many times have you recalled that the politicians, the fake legislators, have said, well, we weren't given time to read the policies? How can we all be so blind? We have to shake ourselves up into the reality that is ours. The more that we can share the true reality that we are in, I believe the more we come out on top. And I know that this is the toughest reality to literally understand. But also understand climate change was invented. And look at the report from Iron Mountain. We were told this, and it needed to be invented to replace war. And that's what we talk about on that 5-part video YouTube series on stopthecrime.net that I present.
Right.
And share this far and wide. Quite frankly, Dr. Bill, YouTube is holding down the video YouTube count. I noticed...
purposely doing that. We can see
yes,
that on our
I
count.
noticed some of the videos had hundreds of thousands of hits, and then I turn around and I find things under 30,000. So we're being played with because we're on target, because we're using policies. That's why our site has not been targeted beyond...
And by the way, your show on this network, on our show on CRN, is superior to any other network. Genesis Network, Rents Network, RBN, any other so-called alternative network. And a lot of the people in these alternative stations and people like, the Health Rangers, supposedly in September going to announce the aliens are setting up the terraforming of the planet. Come on now. Stop putting out foolishness. These people either don't know or they're going to put disinfo because they want to control the narrative. We tell the straight-up truth. You just read the damn documents that they actually publish. Like, if they go to your website, stopthecrime.net, they just need to read and weep and then take action. Don't think and attack the messenger because you don't like the message, right?
It is emotionally traumatizing. I will say that. It will change your life.
You got to wake up, though, and face the music, though. People don't want to. They want to say, don't discuss these things in social media, public, Deagle, because it's not appropriate. It upsets people. They don't want to have you visit them. Or don't talk about that. I'm thinking, guess what? If you're not aware, for example, if you've got terminal cancer or terminal heart disease or terminal whatever, and you just ignore it.
Something else at this point, too. I was recently talking to some people that want to become part of a recognized anti-vaccine movement. Now, in California, it is a law. You must be vaccinated for your children to go to school. And, of course, they're now pushing a law where all adults must be vaccinated as well.
Yeah, by the way, if they have a vaccine for me, I have one for them, and it contains lead. My vaccine contains lead. In other words, they try to vaccinate me. I'm going to shoot back with not only lead-based weapons, but also directed energy and other alternative weapons.
Okay, so Dr.
It's going to be unpleasant.
My position with young mothers that feel that they need to stand up for the right thing, literally put themselves in harm's way, because I think many of these groups are formed by the CIA to corral people that don't want vaccinations or don't want 5G.
I think you're absolutely right on that, and that happens with a lot of topics, and you're one of the few that doesn't do that. But a lot of these organizations are literally trying to corral the public into an alternative cul-de-sac so they can control the media and the people, don't they?
And go after people at 2 or 3 in the morning and charge them with, or 5150 them and put them in a psych ward.
Exactly.
So everyone, thank you for listening. Go to stopthecrime.net.
Amazing show as always, Deborah. Amazing show. It is available now. Epigenetic frequency protection against electropollution is available. Go to the epigenetic frequencies at NutriMedical.com if you want more information. We're going to do some shows on it.
Which was most important because